Oh, we ain't live yet. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is House Jack City's Backstage Sports Edition. I'm your host, Rob Eggers, alongside Roy Herman, simulcasting from Chicagoland. And we have a special guest coming in here in about 5 minutes. And we are going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. And man, Roy, what an amazing NFL draft we just had. And not only that, two people that I worked with very hard this year at IMG Academy for the NFL IPP, Travis Clayton and Bayron, or they call him Bayron. I call him Big B, and Bayron Matos going to the Miami Dolphins, and Clayton and good old Travis Clayton going to the Buffalo Bills. So let's give them a round of applause for that one. I'm very happy for them. I got the crowd noise in there. Let's play it. You know, let's get some crowd noise in there. Woo! Yeah, woo! Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's just some amazing stuff. You know, for the guys, it's been a hell of a ride for these guys. They worked their ass off for 10 weeks, and you can't ask for a better ending to a great story for the NFL IPP, the class of 2024. Let's give it up to James Cook, the head of the NFL IPP, which joined us on our show in episode 7. So round of applause to him. Round of applause to Coach Dunny, the whole staff, Dom. I know you don't know some of these people, but behind the scenes, Ben Koyak. Let's give it up for Dom. Let's give it up for all the participants and the coaching staff and just the overall NFL IPP staff, the training staff that made this happen, and including us, the Skill Show peeps. So shout out to Skill Show for giving the developmental side of things to all 32 teams. I was lucky to be a part of that. So it's an honor. I'm very excited, Roy. This has been nothing but an absolute blessing. And as you can see here, those two guys that got sent to, there's Bayron right there. That's our guy. He's with the Dolphins. I got to find Travis's signature. But with that said, Roy, he's on here somewhere. I got to find it. But it was good to see some of the guys, and we'll wait for our special guest to come in because we do have some big news as well. I didn't even tell you this, Roy. I wanted to wait till we got on. But Coach Dunn is going to be joining us this week, not on today's show, but this week. I had a text message. I text messaged him earlier. And for those who are just tuning in and don't know who Coach Dunn is, Coach Dunn is the man who helped develop Jordan Mailata from rugby over and transitioning over to American football, and then as well as Travis Clayton and Bayron, or Big B Matos to where they're at today. So I want to give a special shout out to Coach Dunn because without him, these three gentlemen would not be where they're at today.
Any new listeners out there, go back and watch the shows. James Cook, as you mentioned, he was on. Paul Dunn was on. This flag behind me is courtesy of Coach Dunny. Great people. We have some new fans and some folks that might not be aware of the IPP program. You definitely want to check that out and Google James Cook because you'll see us on there as well. But we just want to bring the world this news because this is a developmental program to get football players around the world developed and a chance to play in the NFL, undiscovered talent. So go back and watch those two shows, but it was a huge night for those individuals. And congratulations, Rob, for being a part of that. And
appreciate that.
So excited to get Coach Dunny on because he's an old school football coach that you could sit down. You could talk about like we did with Jim Covert. We could talk about Dan Marino, or we could talk about today, right? And that's just such an exciting thing. And just a big congratulations. I'm so excited we're going to get Dunny back on because, you know, he's a guy you can sit down with. And like you said, you can have some dark liquor with and a cigar with. And he's just an old school good guy. So.
Yeah, and I did get a chance to text him yesterday after Travis got drafted, 221 overall, 7th round. Big man, 6'7", 301 pounds. He was just amazing to watch in person. So once again, the proof is on the ball right here. These are my guys. And good old Sam. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Louis Rezamet. Shout out to Charlie. Charlie Smith, which will be joining us in the future as well. I just dropped a surprise future guest. So Charlie Smith with the New Orleans Saints will be with us in the future for a future show to share his IPP experience. He's from Ireland. He has a great backstory, very emotional story. So I can't wait to have him on. Shout out to Big B, man. What an emotional. Once we wait for our guest to get on it, we're going to show you guys the emotion on his Instagram when he found out he got signed as an undrafted free agent. So very big congratulations. They worked their ass off for 10 weeks, and I just cannot wait to see these guys flourish in their own realm in Buffalo and in Miami and Kansas City, New Orleans. I mean, this class of 2024, ladies and gentlemen, was something else. And just to be a part of it and actually feeling the emotion of Clayton getting drafted with the Buffalo Bills, man, I started screaming. And you know what? I think I have it on my Snapchat. So hold on a second. I'm going to pull this up. And Roy,
while you do that too, Rob, why don't you promote the show that was the behind the scenes look? Because this has the makings of a Hard Knocks, that like HBO show that folks need to go back and watch this IPP documentary, so to speak. So again, they can get up to speed. So when the football season starts up and you start seeing these names, everyone will be like, wow, we saw it at the cutting edge right here on Backstage, House Jack City. So
yes. So for you all, that what Roy is talking about right now, that's new to our channel, and we appreciate all the viewers coming in or watching us right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter X for the first time, and on my individual Facebook. So thank you all for coming in. If you haven't yet, make sure to follow us, give us a free subscribe, and like and comment. We're going to be chatting with you guys here later. We want to see your thoughts on the NFL draft, the winners and losers, and what the F's were you doing coming up later. And also that segment, and we're not going to throw this in your face, but Roy, before we get into that, this segment is brought to you by W.
Yeah.
We just got partnered with W, so thank you, W. You go to w.gg and make sure you use HJC Media Group for the code. So with that said, Roy, it is the NFL International Player Pathway Program, and the NFL UK decided to do a documentary. So for all you guys there, I'll be running the scroll here in a little bit. Make sure to like NFL UK on YouTube and watch the whole documentary for free. And with that said, I want to bring in our guest right now. He's the one that launched Sports Edition with us backstage. Our buddy, our pal, Darian Walker. Welcome to the stage. Good old Darian. How we doing, boss?
D!
What's up, guys? How we doing today, y'all?
What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Enjoying a beautiful,
living the dream.
Sunday. You know it.
One of my friends once said, "Hi." He goes, "How you doing?" Or I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "Living a dream, because reality is a nightmare."
Well, that's the best part, guys. So welcome, Darian. We were just talking about, this is perfect time you came in because NFL IPP. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Darian Walker is, he's with the IMG football video. He's the IMG football video director. He is the hardest working man I've ever worked with in the industry. And this man had a huge, huge part of the NFL IPP. And Darian, why don't you tell them a little bit of what you've done for the NFL IPP at IMG?
Yeah, y'all. So basically my role with the NFL IPP just consisted of just making sure like every guy had their development footage. It was definitely 10 weeks of nothing but just grinding, just them developing, just sitting here and learning what they needed to learn to be prepared for the draft, to be prepared for the moments that just happened yesterday with the signings, the free agent signings, and hearing the names called. Like, I sat here and I overseed and I made sure that every single footage of them was properly uploaded and shared to where it needed to be shared and presented to for NFL teams, and just sitting here and just making sure like everything regarding their development was on footage. And of course, like none of that would have been possible without the great work of Rob and the rest of the video staff as well.
Thanks, man. Yes, and absolutely. We've been giving the shout out. I'm going to give some first names out. Shout out to Alexa, as I had a pleasure working with her for 2 years. Shout out to Dan the man. I talked to him the other day. Actually, yesterday. Actually, after Clayton got signed, Mr. Clayton got signed, and then good old Mr. Matos got signed as well. So it was just an awesome, awesome phone call. And before you were coming on, I was promising everybody my reaction video from Snapchat. So I'm just going to let you guys listen in. All right, here we go. Travis Clayton, baby. NFL IPP just got drafted to the Bills. I was excited, man.
Yeah,
fucking
man.
go. Right? Travis Clayton. Let's go. Let's fucking go. See, he's very excited. That's amazing. Look at that. Just on the big stage there in Detroit. I know you guys can barely see it, but let's go. Yeah, that's our guy right there. So it's pretty cool to see that and be a part of it. And this is a very sentimental moment for me because you guys know, Roy, Darian, the grind that we all put into our profession of how much we're serious about it. We're not here we're not flexing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just a little bit, just flexing just a little bit. But Darian, you could say I'm one of 5 in the world, and I think you're one of them too, don't you? That has this. Yeah. One of 5 in the world, baby. And thank you to James Cook for that one.
Hey, Rob, you're mentioning about people couldn't see that closely. If you share what platform it's on, then the people could tune in and watch it. So give yourself a shameless plug with your social media there.
Absolutely. So, this is all of ours. So as you guys can see on the bottom here, we can only stream on 3 platforms right now, but what we're streaming today, and we have a lot of viewers right now on our Twitter X. So thank you all for coming in. We just started that page, so don't laugh at the followers and all that stuff, but shoot us a follow. We're going to be using Twitter X a lot more. We're also, we want to thank once again to all our subscribers on YouTube coming in. We got 56 organic follows, and it's only going to go up from there. And I'm on my Facebook right now, streaming to the individual world. So thank you all for coming in. And once again, we have a great show prepared for you. We want to wait till Darian came in. Coach Paul Dunn will join us this week to talk about his guys that he got there, which is once again Jordan Mailata, Travis Clayton, and then good old Big B Matos. So without the behind the scenes thing, and you never know, maybe we might get one of the guys on. You never know. You never know if Coach Dunny can make a quick phone call to see if one of the guys can come on, or maybe all of them. So stay tuned for that. So I'm telling you right now, make sure you follow, subscribe for free, and like and comment, because I can see all your guys' comments right now. So we want to hear what you have to say, because what we have going on in the show today, we're going to go over we're going to grade up the draft. We're going to update our winners, our losers, and the what the F were you thinking coming up in the show here. And it's going to be a short show today. We're not going 2 hours. We're going to try to keep it to an hour. We all have a lot to do here on this beautiful Sunday. I know me and Dee are enjoying a beautiful, beautiful weather here. How's the weather out there in Chicagoland, by the way, Roy?
Humid, and it's around upper 70s, overcast. So we got some Florida weather up here. With this last couple days in the 80s and with this humidity, there's been a string of tornadoes going through the Midwest. So prayers and thoughts go out to all those people down in Iowa City and Nebraska, and they've been getting hit hard. So let's just hope that crap stops. But no, we've been experiencing some unseasonable like weather here. I don't know what the heck's going on here, but yeah, we're right there with you. So,
well, you hear that music, right? Did you hear it? You hear that? You know what that means? It's time to get into the draft, y'all. Let's talk about it. All right, we had a lot going on yesterday. Obviously, the main focus of what we're talking about is the IPP guys, right? Travis Clayton, and I'm telling you, I'm going to print this all in your guys' head. Travis Clayton, check him out. Make sure to follow him. We'll be running the scrolls on the bottom here shortly. Follow their Instagrams. Follow all their social medias and stay in contact with them, because I tell you what, the journey is not over. It is just beginning for everybody. So I just can't. I'm just still emotional about this, and I will pull up some of the emotion of Big B here in a little bit. But before that, Darian, I know that you had a big L with the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. Do you keep them in the L column for their draft overall, or are you putting them in the WTF were you doing column?
The second round, I was close to putting.
I think that long pause says it all.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but that second round had me questioning a lot of things. But they redeemed themselves with the third round pick. The linebacker from Washington, Trice. I really liked him. I like everything about him. I like what he comes with. I like what he's going to bring for that Falcon defense. That is really needed. The defense this past season just wasn't really physical to me. Wasn't good at getting pressure. I believe he can bring that with everything that is what he is, and everything that he does. I believe that he will be a solid piece. And they kept going defense going forward, which once again, like if anyone who really watches Falcons games like I do, our defense is our weak link. Like our offense is getting there, but our defense has always been our weakest link for a while. So I'm glad that they wanted to center and focus on building the defense mainly between our front seven because it was really needed. So I'll say it was an average draft for them. Average.
Okay, average. That's not bad. At least they're on the L column. I think they're right in between. And then, of course, Roy, I have to ask you, W, an L, or what the F were you thinking with the Bears? And I think this is an obvious one.
We are going to go with a W. Now, there was a couple of picks yesterday when I first saw the one come in. I was out doing public address announcing over at great old Joliet Junior College, who won
23-0. Unbelievable.
By the way. So Greg Braun and the boys, I know they're out there playing today. Go get them. But I saw they picked that punter from Iowa. And at first I had a WTF moment, like a punter. The hell? But this kid was supposed to have been the MVP of that offense. Like he put the team in a position he could boot the ball. He could pretty much place it anywhere he wants. He's from Australia, so there's those international ties there. But the more I really looked at it, he was the best punter in the draft. And some say, and I know it again, it's all projections. He could be the best punter, maybe of all time. I mean, he won a Ray Guy Award, who's in the Hall of Fame, the only punter from the now Las Vegas Raiders that's in the Hall of Fame. So why the hell not at that point? I mean, you had Caleb, you had Rome, right? And then you took a tackle in the third round. He's kind of a project at this point, but some of the other guys on the line, they're in year 2. So they're hopefully going to take that next step. At that point, all the top tackles were off the board, so they took a guy they thought they could work with. He's a local product. And then finally, at round 5, they made a trade to get another pick, which I liked, which is an edge rusher out of Kansas. So he only had like one start. However, he's got a lot of high upside. And coming out of Kansas, that's a good school with a good coaching staff there. So some of the folks I talked to yesterday, one of my good friends, John Vogel, I'm going to give him a shout out, but he agreed. He said, Kansas is a good school. You got some good coaches there. So overall, I'm not going to go A+++ and go crazy, but on paper, I'd say this is an A draft. It's a win. You got your 2 stars, Williams and Odunze, and then you got a couple other guys that will round out, and that punter just might be the wild card out of this whole draft. That because the Bears, the punter last year, let's just face it, Trenton Gill, it just was terrible. So why not at that point? You're just putting the cherry on the top. You're just going all out. Like, why not have a superstar team and get the best player at every position on the field? You got the best quarterback now. You got the potentially, and now the best punter. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not just drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm being optimistic, and I'm also being realistic because we have.
Oh, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, Roy. You're drinking the Kool-Aid.
No.
You know what? Just like every Bears fan,
for the
and
past
everyone,
30 years, what have I had to work with here? So you got to give me a little bit of a break. So I'm drinking some of the Kool-Aid here, and deservingly so, because it's been lean around here. So I'll let you guys weigh in on your thoughts, because maybe I'm just a little too close and a Bears fan and too close to the action. But I'd like to hear what you guys think on the Bears draft.
I honestly think that the Bears have done a great job this year. I mean, if you look at them on paper, I sent you guys both the offense and what it looks like. Just having Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, you got DJ Moore. I mean, look at the weapons that Caleb Williams has starting the season. And I mean, once again, on paper, it looks great. I mean, what is your record going to look like? 13-4? Is that what everyone's going to say? 13-4? You're looking at 12-5, or you're looking at an 11-6 season? I mean, that's the question. I think you're right in that realm, Bears fans. So make sure, it's just about the defensive side of the ball. It's about coaching. It's about chemistry. And I know, D, you can definitely back me on this, because we've been on the field behind the scenes, of course, backstage, with a lot of the stuff going on. And I think we've learned a lot from winning a national championship this year, a state championship, and the national team going undefeated for the season. I mean, it's a great football program to what we were a part of, and he's still a part of. And it's just something amazing that I feel that people just need to be a little bit more confident in their teams. I mean, with us being backstage on a lot of this stuff, we get the little inside scoop on things, and we just gain that knowledge. So, yes, Bears fans, everything looks good on paper. Yes, I'm already seeing on my Facebook that there's Super Bowl parties already being planned. Fernando, shout out to you, because I know you'll invite me to your Super Bowl party. So shout out to Fernando on Facebook. Also, shout out to all our guys on Twitter X right now. That's our most viewed right now. So shout out to you guys. Make sure you hit that follow button, and please repost it to all your sports fans, because we're up and coming here. And we got a lot of guests coming up from the NFL, especially from the IPP, and some World Series champions, and a couple other guests that you might not even expect to be on our show. So we're going to small fry to big fry here pretty soon. But that's my thoughts on the Bears. And I want to get your guys' take on the Eagles. And Darren, I know me and you and Roy, we talked about this. You know damn well I'm not being biased, but let's be for real. I think the Eagles and the Steelers are the winners of the draft this year, and overall free agency. And how about the Raiders? But we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to give you guys take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Are they going to meet up with the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Is that what this is projected to look like? Are the Bears and Eagles playing the championship game to get to the Super Bowl? And who is Kansas City playing? Buffalo Bills again? I don't know. But I want your guys' take and your thoughts on the grade of the Eagles. We'll start with you, Darian.
I will say, for once, I don't think Rob's drinking Kool-Aid. I do sit here and believe that Eagles had a absolutely very solid draft right next to the Lions. Like, what they needed, and their
can't leave the Lions out either. Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
on Lions.
Like, they jumped on it quickly. Between getting Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Hunt, and Will Shipley, like, those were mandatory gets that you had to fill for those positions in order to sit here and bring back that Eagles defense, to bring back that stiffness, to bring back that at your neck, in your face type defense. I feel like they sat here and everything they needed to take care of, they did just that, drafting these guys. And I feel like every guy that they selected, like, no exaggeration, will sit here and at some point will be a solid piece. Of course, every guy won't be a year one very productive guy, but going forward, year 3, year 4, as they sit here and continue to develop and come into their own as a player, they should be satisfied with who they pick. Of course, like, things have to play out, right? But initially, right now, this Sunday, I like the guys who they drafted. I feel like their mentality and their mindsets match with what the Eagles are trying to advance with. And Rob might just be on to something. They might be in a Super Bowl running again.
Hey, as long as they all stay healthy. And I just want to give a shout out to your guy there, Roy. Good old Samuel. Here am I. Samuel, here am I. Let me just say that. He goes, Bears. So obviously he's ready. And so shout out to Samuel. Thanks for joining the podcast. And
if that's the guy, I believe it is. That's good old Sammy Warren from Bolingbrook. He's a Park District guy, and he goes back to BCT. He came a little bit later into the BCT party, but he's a great guy, great Christian guy, loves podcasts. So we're giving him some good material to fill up his phone and his tablet and everything else with. Since we're on the Eagles real quick. So the Eagles last year took a step back, right? And so going into the offseason, they all had to collaborate and sit down and kind of take a 30,000-foot view of the landscape and say, all right, let's just, what went wrong, okay? And yes, they definitely bolstered their defense here. And sometimes youth is good. Change is good. You're going to bring in some fresh faces with some fresh ideas. I think what the coaching staff and the team will do with these young players is look at some of the vets and say, all right, we're gonna push each other, right? We're not going to just usually the rookies sit and they wait or they get the rookie hazing, and you'll get some of that. But I think they're going to be more like, hey, for the rookies, if you got something to teach us, give it to us, and vice versa. But we want to win. We're all here for the same common goal. So I think the youth infusion there will help, but this is going to be a big year for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts to get back to where they were and take that next step, because anything not getting to the Super Bowl is going to be failure because they tasted it and they were there a couple of years ago. And with Patrick Mahomes there, let's face it, guys, it's going to be the road to the Super Bowl. Every year is going to go through Kansas City.
Hey, listen, and that's one thing we need to say, right? D, who just got signed with Kansas City that we had the pleasure of working with, Louis Rees-Zammit. So talk about a weapon right now, right? A weapon that's, he's on a contract that he's not on the main roster right now. So let's just make that perfectly clear. The James Cook did mention when he was on our show. And for those just joining us that haven't seen the show, James Cook, the head of the NFL IPP, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, and it's episode 7. Check that episode out. It's a great episode. And then also check out Coach Paul Dunn from he's a former Atlanta Falcon, O-line coach, Texans and Browns. Make sure to check him out. He had a great story to tell us just about his personal life and who he roomed with and what Tommy Lasorda said to him. So make sure to check that out too. But with that said,
Pennsylvania guy.
Oh yeah, good old Pitt guy. So thank you guys for coming in. Once again, keep slamming those like buttons, subscribe for free, and follow us on all platforms. We love you. So yes, with that said, I'm very excited. And don't forget, guys, we've got Saquon Barkley in the backfield. That's not a bad pickup from losing DeAndre Swift, right? Going to your Bears. So you're going to like that pickup, Roy. He's going to be
we got a Swifty now. We're Swifty.
You got a Swifty, baby. So, and that's one thing that I'm excited for. And hey, don't forget A.J. Brown just got extended. There was a lot of trade rumors that he would have been traded in the draft. Thank God he stayed. Jordan Mailata, our boy, he just got extended to 2018. Devontae Smith is extended. Come on, guys. The offense is looking great. The defense is getting better. I've been wanting a secondary now for like 4 or 5 years, and I think we finally got it. So this is going to be we got one finally. So I'm very excited. I'm pumped up, ready for the season. I wish it starts tomorrow. I can't wait to see our IPP guys show up here. And before I get in there, I don't want to get off track, but I am on good old B's Instagram here. So I did want to pull it up, and I want to show you guys the emotion of exactly what went on yesterday. And this is Bayron. Good old Byron. They call him Byron. I call him Bayron Matos. I call him Big B. D, he has many nicknames out there, but let's go ahead and share this real quick. I want to show you guys the emotion. Let's get on in this and just check this out. So good. That's Big Dom right there. Good old Big Dom, D. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's the emotion.
Pure emotion, man. It's great.
And there's good old George, baby. And look at this embrace that they have. This was very emotional. As you can see, B's very emotional, as he should be, very happy. Mm-hmm. And just so you guys know, he signed. You see there, HJ Media Group, proud of you, your boy Rob, right? So right there in the comments, right there. So I'm very happy for him. D, I know you're happy for him.
Absolutely, man.
Great. It's very great. I mean,
if you don't mind, let me just give y'all guys just a quick insight on B. Like Rob already knows, but B just being there for 10 weeks straight is one of the most amazing individuals, most humble guys and men that you can ever like just meet, period. Like each and every day, like I don't care if you was a janitor, he would come and speak to you. He would come and ask how you was doing. He would sit here and come and just uplift your day. Like that's the type of human being he was. Everything he got yesterday, he truly deserves. That is truly a great man with character, a great man with passion. He motivates himself. He shows dedication. And like I said, like he's just one of the most humblest individuals that you could ever meet. Like there wasn't a day that didn't go by where if he's in the building and he sees me, hey man, what's up, Darren? How you doing? How you doing, man? Another day, God's great. Like that's the
God is
type of
great.
personality that
Yeah.
he just had. So it's great to see that for him, man. Like I told him, like point blank, I knew that it was gonna work out. He knew it too. And like I was talking with Coach Dunn like earlier in the week, I said it's not a matter of if these guys be on the NFL roster, it's when.
Exactly.
And we're here.
And you know what? Just having a walk with Coach Dunn, and we want to welcome more people joining in. We appreciate you guys. This is a great show today. We're recapping the NFL draft. We're talking about, for those that don't know who I am, my name is Rob Eggers.
Yeah, because we got some new listeners. So go ahead and
listeners.
just educate everybody what you are and who you do.
Yeah, so I'm Rob Eggers. I am obviously the creator and host of House Jack City's Backstage Sports Edition and Mix Show Fridays, all that good stuff. I'm a former DJ producer. Also worked behind the scenes with the NFL IPP as a videographer. I had the pleasure for 10 weeks to video Louis Rees-Zammit. I had the pleasure of Pat Murtaugh, which just signed with the Jags. Shout out to you, my boy. I'm just happy for all these guys, man. The signings are unbelievable this year. So just being behind the scenes backstage with all the guys has just been an amazing journey. I have to say a dream come true because we started a show called Sports Preview in Bolingbrook, Illinois when I was 14 years old. It was the youngest sports show host in the history of Chicagoland sports, the longest running sports show from 1997 to 2012, and no one's going to ever beat that. And we're proud of that. We're nominated for 5 awards. So we take this shit to heart, man. And for me personally, to get in a position with Darian and, be able to share this moment with him personally on the field and behind the scenes with editing, because this guy right here, Darian Walker, without him, those teams ain't getting that footage. All right. So, and he was doing a lot of work behind the scenes as well. And doing a lot of extra work for the guys just to make sure that they were getting the correct film to all 32 teams. So I want to give a shout out and to you, Darian, because you did a hell of a lot of work behind the scenes as well. So with that said, go ahead, Roy.
On the last show that Darian, okay, everything that I've researched and looked at on you remind me, and I'll say it again because we got new listeners here in Bolingbrook, Somonauk, Coal City, Will County, Illinois. Yes, represent. Thank you. But Darian is like an Eric Spoelstra who started out in the video room, and then from there, well, you know him now as a legend, of course. But Darian's got so many different paths that he can go. He could go the coaching route. He can go the front office route, analytics. I say he's like a young Theo Epstein from the baseball peeps. I'm going to sing that to the top of the mountains, and I'm going to continue. I want to educate people. Darian's got a bright future, and Rob is the godfather, okay? When we did this show, Sports Preview, way back when, this was Rob's vision. And I'll tell you what, he got me into doing what I did and am doing today, and that's a big thank you to Rob Eggers. We're all mental health advocates here. We're all Christians here. Let me make one last point before I get off my soapbox. The moment where they were embracing and hugging really meant a lot to me. And the reason why is because I told someone last night, I said, living in the moment. We're always looking ahead and rush, get to the next thing. And we got to hurry, go, and plan. You got to stop in the moment and just take it in and look around. And to see those guys do that, they're going to get to work. Training camp's going to start. But before then, stop, hug, just cry, laugh, celebrate, and then get started for the big thing ahead. So
I love it, Roy. And thank you for that. And and once again, he said I'm the godfather. That name was given to me, just like my DJ name, Dr. Bass. That name was given to me. I used to help suicide attempt victims out. I also saved 16 lives, so that means lots to me. I'm a suicide attempt victim myself a couple times, and no more. So we always say on our show, try to get the positive message. See, always play some Andy, positive things. If you need a safe place to come to, we will be talking mental health. Like I said, we have a lot of guests coming on here in the future that are mental health advocates as well. So we take this shit seriously. We're open. We're ourselves. We're not thinking anything. And, I'm only bringing good people on here. I want to talk positive. And we have a mission. And that mission is to...
Can I make one more comparison about you, Rob?
Hold on 1 second. Our mission is to make sure that you guys have a safe space to come to. We entertain you, and this man in the middle, Roy Herman, he is the sports freaking thesaurus. So make sure that if you want to challenge him, we'll have challenge quizzes for this man, Roy. Also, I also want to say Sam did say the Eagles should wear the throwback green jerseys, also known as the Kelly Greens. I do agree because they were killing it when they were wearing the Kelly Greens, and then they will win. I like that. So, Sam, I think they should do that too. I do agree with you. But go ahead, Roy. You said you wanted one more thing to add.
I'm sorry. I got so many emotions flowing, and I just want you guys to have the credit and everything that you both deserve. But, Rob, you're like Sylvester Stallone in Expendables, right? You assembled this team together in sports preview, okay? You led a dream team. We went to battle. We accomplished a lot. We won a lot of wars. And then we all kind of went out on top. Some of us. Anthony Stalter's in St. Louis. He's on ESPN radio now. But I was kind of like Jason Statham, or some of the other old guys that just went into retirement. And you reformed. Here comes Sylvester Stallone, Rob, calling me out of retirement going, Roy, we got some battles. I had some mental health problems, and you came to me. You said, Roy, we got some more battles. So I'm like your Jason Statham. You came and got me, and I said, all right, buddy, I can't run. I can't hide no more. Let's go kick some ass. So thank you. And
yeah, man, you are very welcome.
I'm going to shut up.
No, you don't need to shut up. Don't need to shut up. We're all excited here. We got a lot of shit that's been going on. So, I mean, this is big news. This is awesome. And once again, I just want to say, Twitter X is on fire right now. So, guys, make sure to follow us on Twitter X. We will be using it more. We just started it up. This is all organic. Okay, we have no social media management groups. I'm doing the production stuff. Roy's getting all the knowledge stuff. Darian's the knowledge guy. I'm the host. I'm the producing the show, directing the show, putting everything together. So I'm doing 4 jobs at once. So I'm doing what I can to entertain you guys. I appreciate you guys, and we are going to give a good show for the rest of that. We have a half hour left. We don't want to stay on too long, but we wanted to come in to make sure we recap the draft, the winners, the losers, and the what the Fs. And I also want to find the Clayton. I'm going to find Travis Clayton's Instagram while you guys are talking. But why don't we get into some more winners? And Roy, I'll start with you. Give me some more winners of the draft and where you see them, in the rankings of this season coming up.
Yeah, I think the winners are going to come down to defense, okay, because the offensive guys were the known commodities and everybody's packed and they stockpile all their offense, but it's going to be the guys like, and I said it on the other show, the Rams, picking the defensive guy there in the first round. I think that was a huge win there. And then just to recap, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I think the Chargers did the right thing. Jim Harbaugh didn't get overly sentimental with his guy, J.J. McCarthy. He realized that I got a stud right here in Justin Herbert. So I'm going to stick with him. I'm going to take him to the next level, the promised land of what he was hired to do, and bringing in Joe Alt right there. I mean, he gave him a weapon. He gave him other weapons that he needs. So kudos out there to Jim Harbaugh. He's going to do his thing. I think one of the losers, and I'm picking on him, and I'm going to call him out, is the Broncos and Sean Payton. Sean's so Harbaugh is going to come back in and he's going to go, Sean, step aside. Let me take back over because I've been gone for too long and this is my league now. I'm the real quarterback whisperer. Yeah, I had Alex Smith. I had Colin Kaepernick. We went to a Super Bowl. I got freaking Justin Herbert now, and you got Bo Nix. Sit back, relax, and watch how we do it here in the Chargers land. So those are some of my winners. I'm going to let D speak because he's got a little bit more insight there, but that's how I feel.
No, I like that. That was a good one. I love it.
Yeah, it was. I absolutely agree. My 2 main winners for the draft, I already hinted at one already. So Lions, of course. I just liked everything that they was thinking when they went with their guys. They made sure to sit here and just put the emphasis on, hey, like we're coming back with a stronger and more solid defense. And their picks overall, I liked them. From I was on the first time when I was talking about Terrion Arnold, that was a great pick. I like the idea of sitting here and having him like in the secondary, and I feel like he's a year one impact guy. He will make an impact. Them going with the Missouri DB was even like that was great too. Like you got two SEC DBs who I feel like will sit here and be productive their first year in the league. So just them sitting here and just touching on that with getting a lineman with the next pick and going with the running back, the Utah running back. I think those are all solid picks, like all the way through. And like I see their vision, like their vision is like clear, like they want a Super Bowl, like they're going all in. And their picks just sat here and reflected that. I feel like point blank, they're winners. And this is going to sit here and just bleed the right way into the season as they sit here and just prep for this championship run. My second team who's a winner, Baltimore Ravens. I liked where they was going. I liked their idea of what they wanted to do. Their first pick was Nate Wiggins, who is a Georgia native. Shout out to Georgia. Home state, let's go. Yeah. But their whole draft like selection, like I really liked it. Like Nate Wiggins being the first pick was a solid pick. The offensive tackle out of Washington, Roger, he will be a very good get, and I feel like he will be productive for that offensive line, protecting Lamar. And one that I really liked, who I thought was a sleeper, the North Carolina wide receiver Devontae Walker. I don't know if he's a cousin of mine, possibly, but he was very productive. I felt like he had a solid season at North Carolina when he was there with Drake May. And, of course, he's not a number one guy receiver-wise, but he could be a good number 2 or number 3 guy there. And just with everything else that the Ravens have going on, like you don't need to like overthink it. Right? Like he was there, you take him and you move along, and just their thought process in that was solid. Like I loved it, I liked it, and these are two teams where I feel like they will benefit from these decisions that they made this month in April, going into September when the season kicks off, y'all. So my losers, me and Rob already was talking about this like earlier, like
Raiders.
Raiders. Oh, Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, I'm not getting it. Like, the first pick they had with Brock Bowers, like I said, like we all understood that, right? The quarterback who you wanted was gone, so you just took the best available. But at the same time, I felt like what other better time than now, this draft, to get a quarterback and just say, like, what the heck? Like, let's see. Let's see if even if we're swinging like and it's a miss, this is a year that we can swing and miss. So for them not to take any quarterback in this draft was just kind of mind-boggling to me. And it almost was like it's like you're playing Madden franchise, and you get to the draft, right? And it gives you the option of, do you want to auto pick? And you click yes, like that.
Yes, I love that.
That was their mindset. That's to me what it felt like. That was their mindset process with this, of like, whoever we feel is the best available, we'll just pick them and we'll keep going. So I would like to know their mindset. I would like to know like what's their end goal, like what's the plan going into next season with these picks. That quarterback room, I mean, I'm guessing they're comfortable with it. I guess they have some type of belief in it because no quarterback got drafted. So, I mean, we'll see. They have a defensive-minded head coach. So, Raider fans, like, y'all just prepare, because I don't know how it's going to go, but y'all prepare for the good and the bad. It might be more bad this season, but we'll see. My second loser, I love the Daniels pick. Washington did everything they should have getting Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, we knew that.
I just wanted them to sit here and focus more on getting protection for him.
Right.
I wasn't crazy about their second pick, going with a nose tackle. Their front seven, especially the defensive line, is already kind of solid to me. And I felt like if you really wanted another nose, then that was pretty early. You could have waited to the third round. So that kind of threw me off. I felt like the center focus should have been, hey, like, what do we need to sit here and do to make sure that Jaden Daniels stays off his back when the season starts? So let's sit here, let's look at protection, let's look at our tackles, our guards, our centers, and let's really evaluate and see, like, how are we going to sit here and make sure that he's fully comfortable and fully well and prepped to go when the season kicks off and as the season goes on. So I mean, I had a lot of questions about the picks. And I feel like some guys will sit here and actually like probably mold into good solid players, but I just felt like with their mindset, it should have been more geared towards like how is this going to benefit Daniels? Like we have number 2 pick. We're looking for him to be the guy. Like we're looking for him to be our franchise quarterback, like point blank period. So what do we need to do to make sure that he's protected, he's injury free, and to make sure that like all of our offensive pieces will fit our scheme for how we're gonna scheme them up when that time comes. So those are my 2 winners and losers.
What about your what the F were you thinking organization one? If you need time to think about that one, that's cool. But while you're thinking of that,
Yeah.
I want to let someone know who is the winner on this one, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now because I want to bring up some Travis Clayton. I'm on his Instagram right now, so I'm going to bring this up. He has something to say to all you guys, and this is kind of to us too. So pretty cool. So let's go ahead and share this right now with everybody. And here's what he had to say.
For sticking by me and supporting me. And look, I made it to the NFL. Now it's time to represent and show the rest of the world exactly why UK athletes should play in the NFL. Let's go, Bills!
Awesome,
love it.
Awesome. So I mean that's something that's just really cool. He's so happy, you can see. And once again, I talked to Travis. Is one of the last people that I said bye to. He's big, guys. He's 6'7", 301 pounds, man. All right. And when he gave me a bro hug and all that stuff, like literally, like he didn't even. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I was like, no, man, you're just strong as F. You're just really strong, dude. So, just very happy for him. I saw the talent in him. Coach Dunn saw it in him. We all saw it in him. I mean, this year, dude, for the NFL IPP is only going to go up from here. So, my winner. I know it's kind of off topic from the 32 teams, but my winner this year, the NFL IPP, absolutely. And once again, shout out to James Cook for doing a fantastic job. That man works 24/7, cares about his people, his players, the staff. As you know, Darren, you work very close with James. You work very close with George. You work very close with Ben Koyak. You work very close with Coach Dunn, Dom, all the guys. So shout out to all those guys if you're watching. Coach Dunn's going to come on this week. We don't know the date yet, but he'll be live with us, and we're going to talk about them, and maybe we'll get Travis on, and maybe we can get good old Big B on as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say real quick, we have 15 viewers on X right now. You guys are amazing. Thank you. If you haven't already, can you please repost, and give us a follow? It's just a couple clicks. We're going to start going live more on X, and we're going to go live on YouTube and on my individual Facebook for right now. And then we'll switch off the Facebook platform, and we're going to try to get an Instagram. The only reason we're on Instagram right now is because they only have an hour streaming capability, and I'm not going to sit here and keep restarting the damn stream every hour. So until Instagram figures their shit out, we're not going live on StreamYards with Instagram. But I want to give a shout out to all you guys coming in. Shout out to all our fans on YouTube, all the subscribers organically. And we're going to try to we'll kick the show out to an hour and a half, boys, if you got. So it's 3:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:42 back in Chicago. So you guys along for another 45 minutes, or where am I at? So we got another 35 minutes to go, guys. Let's do it. All right. So with that said, for those coming in, yes, we have been sponsored. This is going to be the last time I do this because we don't want to throw it in all faces. But hey, we only do it if we believe in it. So here it is. That's right. If you haven't heard of W, and Roy, you did say something real quick, and we'll just get really quick on this. They just dropped a new product, and which one is it? Go for it. I'm gonna try to pull it up if I can. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up real quick. Though I just want to update my package is coming Tuesday, so I'm really excited about that. We talked about doing an unboxing show. So we're going to open the box together. We're going to look at the product online. And then once that's done, I'm going to taste and sample the product live on air. I'm going to give basically a taste test, right? And tell everybody what the flavor is, what does it taste like. And then, obviously we'll be on for a while. It should kick in, and then I'll let everybody know how I'm feeling, because it's jitterless, which is the big thing for people who have anxiety or are sensitive to caffeine. It's 100 milligrams of caffeine, so that's not too bad. A lot of products 200, I'm sorry, 150. A lot of product on the market's 200, or there's even one I saw that was 300, and that's insane. But it's sugar free, so if you're diabetic, you don't have to worry about that. And also, there's a lot of other healthy aspects of things that are in there. So I believe in it. I'm a workout person, so I want to try it for that, and also a little bit of ADD I got. So
there it is. For you anime fans,
there it is.
They're just dropping this, the Red Sword Fighter Jug, 1 liter. So save 10% with HJC Media Group, guys. So there you go. W.GG. Very happy to have them as a sponsor. So with that said, awesome.
Hot in the streets, man, for all the anime fans out there, comic collectors, and everybody else. Pokemon, that's a pretty tight looking mug there. So
yes, absolutely. I can't wait to do the unboxing. We'll let you guys know that in the future. So let's get some comments here. It looks like Matthew came in on YouTube saying hi. What's going on, Matthew? We got Sam on YouTube. We got a bunch of people on Twitter X and on Facebook. So let me check those comments real quick. And for you guys, please comment. I can see them. Give us your take on the draft. What do you think? Who was the big losers? Let's go off you guys today to finish out the show.
Absolutely.
So please comment. We're going to be doing reaction videos in the future. We're going to be doing quiz testing. Let's see if you can stump Roy Herman. We'll be doing future Dubby giveaways, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned for those shows. So a lot of shit coming up. So with that said, Roy, did I get it? Did I get a what the F were you doing yet? Organization, do you have your pick?
I got a couple.
Okay.
So not to be the dead. We talked about this on day one. He's laughing over there, D, because the Falcons.
Well, don't forget now, it's finalized. Now the draft is over, so we can give you final input.
So the appendix pick, as I call them, but they showed a video with the GM and Arthur Blank together, like having a word, and that was like the WrestleMania moment, or I'm sorry, the Raw moment when The Rock and Cody stepped in and they had a word together, and we're like, what did they say? Was it staged? Was it just like, hey, I'm just saying something, and I want to make everybody think that we're actually let him go nuts, like I said something controversial, or did he actually say something? And that's how I felt with that video there when the GM and Arthur Blank spoke. Like, what did they say? Anybody that has any insight on that, were they on the same accord? And was he like saying, hey, that was a great pick and good job? Or was he like, hey, what the hell was that? And you in my office after this draft, because we got to talk about it. So if anybody's got any insight on that, but the Panthers, I mean, you had the number 1 pick last year, Bryce Young. What did they do to give him anything that's going to help him and take him to the next level? They got to keep him upright. They drafted, they got Xavier Legette in the first round. Nothing to write home about or really too excited about. They potentially got the best running back, maybe Jonathan Brooks, but are they really a running back away? And running backs typically go later in the draft anyway. So, Panthers, I got to say, what the F are you doing? And then I hate to pick on the Broncos because I know there's somebody that's a fan of the show that likes the Broncos, but I got to just say it like it is. I mean, Bo Nix, it's kind of like they had no other choice. And the Raiders, okay, Aiden O'Donnell, is that your guy that you're going with? I mean, Luke Getsy is now your offensive coordinator. And what did Luke Getsy do with Justin Fields? In fact, Justin Fields was like, after about 3 or 4 weeks into the season, he's like, my head is just, I'm thinking too much out there. Screw it. I'm just going to be me. And then he started running all over the place, and he started just doing his instincts and what came natural, and that's when they started winning games. So when the quarterback called the offensive coordinator out like that, and now the Raiders get him, so you're going to expect Luke Getsy to develop Aiden O'Donnell and they didn't address the quarterback situation at all. But what the hell, you got the Falcons sitting there with Kirk Cousins for the next 4 years and Michael Penix. Somehow, can the Raiders get on the phone and say, can we just get one of them guys, please? Because they're in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas, they spend a lot of money on that stadium, and they want a winner out there. And the fans aren't going to be okay with just them being crap and filling up the stadium, because the new stadium's going to wear off, and the fans are going to want to win. So maybe the Raiders could call the Falcons there and say, all right, can we get one of those two guys there, please?
I got my pick for that one.
What about you, D? Any more? You want to collaborate off of what Roy just said?
Yeah, actually, Roy, his first one he named, that's the one I was going to name, the Panthers. I don't understand the sense of direction. I didn't understand it the first day when they drafted Xavier from South Carolina, when you had Keon Coleman and A.D. Mitchell sitting right there. And then just going forward, like I'm trying to figure out what they want their offensive identity to be. I just know you really do have I feel like will be a solid quarterback in Bryce Young, but I feel like he's only as solid as the pieces you put around him. His offensive line, his running backs, his receivers. Like, he's only going to thrive on the pieces that you put around him. It just cannot be him. This isn't basketball, this is football, guys. Like, every position matters and must play their role in order for the unit to be successful, period. So I felt like, maybe y'all should sit here and let's start with the trenches. Let's look at our tackles and guards. Let's sit here and see, like, what can we develop as an offense, because that's well-oiled machine. Your offense doesn't run well if your line isn't on nothing. It's not going to develop no matter what. So, I mean, for them to just sit here and just continue reaching, like, each round, Texas running back Jonathan Brooks, I mean, he was okay. Second round, though, I don't know. Like, I felt like you could have waited third, fourth round. And there was guys still there. Jace McCullough, who the Falcons ended up getting. Y'all could have got him. Like, I feel like he would have been a more productive pick. And even the Falcons getting him, like, I don't know where he'll be at rotation-wise, since we already have, like, Taylor Algier and we have Bijan Robinson. So he would have been a more solid fit for Carolina if they wanted to go with the running back. And I just felt like the mandatory pieces should have been let's look at our offensive line, let's look at receivers. And then as well, of course, we're going to sit here and look into defense as well, because overall there needs to be changes on both sides of the ball, but you have to start somewhere. And that's sitting here and making sure that you are, if you really want him to be your franchise quarterback, then you sit here and you show that by starting with drafting the right pieces. If you can't hit big in free agency, which they didn't. So that's definitely my first, like, what the F team as far as picks. My second one, I'm gonna say Cleveland Browns.
Okay, let me hear this one. Cleveland Browns fans, listen up.
That's just based off, like, I would say, like, overall, they're in an okay position as a team. Like, we know that y'all can make the playoffs. We know that y'all are a playoff caliber team. But is that just the end goal for y'all? Do y'all just want to sit here and make the playoffs and then, wild card round or divisional round, you're not going further than that? Or do you really want to strive beyond that and actually try and compete for a Super Bowl? And I feel like this is they just kind of had to deal with the fact that they wanted Deshaun Watson, and, like, you had to sit here and pay for that with not having that many draft picks this year. Due to that trade they had. So honestly, I wanted them to sit here and, like, just kind of see if they could get a receiver, a way more better receiver here and there. They went with the Louisville wide receiver, Thrash. He could be
about him?
I mean, not too much if I'm being honest. But just watching some film when I did sit here and, like, look more into him when they selected him, I feel like he could be maybe a good 4 or 5 receiver. But is he a receiver? Do I feel like that he can be a difference maker? Not too much. I feel like he'll be a good role piece, but in order for him to be a good role piece, your main pieces have to sit here and be productive as well. And this is where I feel like earlier in the draft, where if you wanted a receiver, which I'm surprised that AD Mitchell fell that far. Um, AD Mitchell I do believe he got taken 52nd, so I'll give him that. He wasn't there no more. But there were other receivers I felt like if that's who you wanted, then you really need to strive to get you a receiver who has a potential of being more of a number 3 receiver, a number 2 receiver. But just it kind of was a formality of not having enough picks, and then like even with the picks they did have, they reached that nose. I felt like was a reach. And I just sit here and I feel like when it comes to the offense, like I know Nick Chubb's had that horrific injury. And you just don't know like what his recovery process will be. So if you wanted a running back, right, you should have sat here and probably looked more deeper into running backs. Um, and as far as that nose, like I feel like their front seven wasn't too bad this past season. So a nose in the second round, I just want to strive to get. I would have sat here and looked to see like what else can we piece offensively on the receiving side. What can we sit here and do for another running back just in case with the Nick Chubb situation right now, which I do really hope he comes back like well, fine, and good to go as he recovers. But for right now, you need insurance just in case he doesn't. So that's my second team as far as like what the F. And it's just more so it's formality right now. Like they really didn't have a lot of picks due to that Watson trade. So they only had so many picks, but even with the picks they did have, it was just kind of head scratchers.
Now, another thing too I want to talk about too, I want to piggyback off is culture, right? Culture is very important. And, I had a great idea. Why don't we just go to our YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen, and show you some of our shorts? We had James Cook on, and he talks about culture. And let me find this one right now here. There it is. All right, I'm going to get this going. I want you guys to listen to what James Cook has to say about culture. If I can get this going here. There we go. All right.
Have a good culture. What is your culture? What is like culture is they're the very shared ideas and beliefs that shape your everyday actions and behaviors. And that's no small thing. And you can't create that quickly and there's no shortcut to that. And so to have a culture where players do want to come back and they do want to be a part of it, it's so much bigger than one person. It's so much bigger than 1 year. I think the players' love for the program and then wanting to return to it is a credit to every player, every coach, every staff member that has come through this thing since 2015 and touched it and influenced it in the way that they have. And so I think that's when you come through it and you feel like you're very proud to have been a part of it. I think when you say, do you have a...
With that said, I mean, James Cook had some great stuff. And I know he's talking about the IPP, but at the same time, we're talking about the NFL as well. I mean, you're coming in from college, either you're drafted or you're an drafted free agent, which Bayron was. He was signed as an undrafted free agent to the Dolphins. So with that said, and you said earlier about Bayron, the culture of him coming in, I think that kind of electrifies teams that had a losing season and can make them just have a winning season by bringing someone in like Big B, right? He just didn't. I mean, I've had some bad days at IMG when I was there for the skill show set, right? When I was doing, stuff. I had some personal stuff going on in my life, but then B comes around, hey, Rob, you good? Just the culture around there and this made me change my mood immediately. A lot of people deal with mental health. Let's talk about Antonio Brown for a second. And he's dealing with a lot of mental health, and we need to pray for him because God bless him. I hope he gets better. And maybe he can make a little comeback with an NFL team. I don't even know if that's possible anymore, but we talk about culture. We talk about these picks. Maybe we don't know something about these kids that get picked up. And it's just something that I feel that culture, what James said, can just even come into the NFL itself, not just the IPP, but just the NFL organization. It's very important. And I think it's something that a lot of scouts look at as well. They kind of want to know their background. And I've listened to them at the combine or pro day when I was there at USF with you, Darian. I overheard some of the coaches interviewing certain players. And I'm standing by them and I'm listening in. They're like, have you ever had a felony? No. Mental health issues? No. Do you take drugs? No. Any prescription drugs? I mean, it's some serious shit. They want to really get inside your head and see, do you have a mental problem? Do you have an issue? Is there something that we need to know that you're not disclosing now? Because you look happy-go-lucky like B is, but maybe B is not looking so happy-go-lucky behind the scenes. So that's something that, we all have to look at.
Yeah, I got something I want to just bring up about the culture. I'm glad that this opened the door for this point, but I wanted to talk about the New England Patriots. So in the past, obviously, when Bill Belichick was running,
hey, Rob, Roy, do they?
What's that?
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Bill Belichick, it was always his way or the highway, and now Elliott Wolf has taken over, and they haven't officially given him the title of GM, but the setup inside the Patriots draft room, as it was shown on the team's website per ESPN, they revealed that how Wolf has opened up the room to the team's full scouting staff as part of a more inclusive process, right? So he's more adept and open to input, making these choices here. And so another change also, you drafted Drake May, but one of the things May said when he walked in is there was a basketball hoop in the locker room, and in the previous regime there wasn't. So it seems like they're going to open up a little bit more fun. Like you could take a break and shoot some hoops and let some steam off. So the last few years under Bill Belichick, it wasn't working. That it just kind of run its course. So now you have a new voice there. Elliott Wolf's dad, of course, was Ron Wolf, the legendary Ron Wolf, who won. Super Bowl with the Packers. He traded for Brett Favre in '92. He signed Reggie White. So his father was a Hall of Famer. But I'm really excited to see what the Patriots going forward with, and you could see with Mac Brown, with the previous quarterback there. Sorry, a little brain fog, guys. But the previous Mac Jones, the previous quarterback, he wasn't feeling it, and he was reaching out to some of his old coaches at Alabama for help and support, and it seemed like his mental health wasn't really good there. And they brought in Bill O'Brien to maybe help him, but it was like a little bit too late. So I'm excited to see now with these changes going forward that Drake May will be better just because of the culture's better. And maybe if Mac Jones had that, maybe a change of scenery. I hope that kid, his career isn't over. And in Jacksonville, he's got a backup Trevor Lawrence, so it's not going to be there. But maybe that's just like kind of a placeholder spot for him, and he'll get a second chance there. But culture is big. And I think the Patriots right now, what they're doing on paper is a breath of fresh air, and it was much needed.
Awesome. Well, listen, I know, Darian, you have to get going. You have something you got to do here. We want to thank you for coming on, Darian. You're more than welcome to come on with Coach later down the week if you can. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for launching the show. And just thank you for being a God's man, and thank you for being our brother, man. So thank you for coming on the show. Is there any final thoughts? Any final thoughts you want to give out there to anybody before you bounce out?
Yeah, guys, as always, man, it's a pleasure. Like, God bless y'all. Like, once again, like, it's always fun just like talking like sports with y'all, just going into detail about it. Every time I'm on here, like, it's always a good time. It's always good sitting here talking information, talking analysis, and just in here and just having a great time with us, just talking about like what's next, what can be and what will be. So, as always, man, I'm wishing y'all the best of luck, as I know there's even greater that will come for y'all. And as always, man, y'all are always welcome. Thank y'all for making me always feel welcome, and lots of more to come going forward.
All right, let's give it up for Darian Walker, everybody. Give it up for Darian. All right, brother, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you soon, homie. Take it easy.
Man. Thank you.
Have a blessed Sunday, man. We'll see you. Darian Walker, everybody. Let's give it up for Darian Walker. He's just a great dude.
What a great dude.
Guy. Love him, man. He's a good. Yeah, love him, man. We got really close at IMG Academy, and he taught me a lot. in the industry as well. And like you said, Roy, he has a lot coming. He could be a GM of a NFL organization sometime in his lifetime. So that's pretty cool. But with that said, Roy, we got about 15 more minutes to go. I want to open up the comments here real quick. Matt did say, I thought the Bears could have drafted more offense, more like an offensive line help. But he does give the Bears draft a B-. Ooh,
Okay, fair enough.
B-. Okay.
Fair
What
enough.
was your overall grade with the Bears?
I said A, but you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm probably drinking too much Kool-Aid. I like Matt's B- there because that offensive tackle is a project from Yale. He's a local guy. He's got a lot of potential. Now, Ryan Poles is a general manager, and he was a offensive lineman himself. So the guy knows a thing or two about offensive linemen, but you know what? I like that. I like that, Matt. That's very good. I like the B-. Let's keep it real, right? And, they could have done more, and they took a project instead of more of somebody that was ready to go like Joe Alt. But hey, it is what it is, man. We're going to see what it is. But yeah, that's a good pick. I like that. Good grade. Good grade.
Nice. So with that said, I just opened up the Twitter X, guys. So all you guys watching on Twitter X, shoot us a comment. Give us what you want us to talk about. Is there a favorite team of yours out there you want us to give a grade to? Is there something that you might want Roy? You want to test Roy's knowledge of sports? Go ahead. I want to see this happen because you're probably not going to stump him. Once again, we got a lot of awesome Hey man, I challenge anyone to try to come at you with some sports knowledge. But anyways, it has to be legitimate. Come on, guys. Let's not troll the guy. Don't troll. If you want to troll us, that's fine. We'll ignore you. Not a big deal. That's the life of the internet. I believe everything I read on the internet anyway. So no, I'm kidding. I don't. But no, I just want to thank all our guests once again on Twitter X, on YouTube, on Facebook. It's awesome. I mean, this has been a great live show, and man, Roy, we just have a lot more coming. We have a lot more coming this week. We're going to hopefully be talking to the guys that just got drafted and signed. We have a lot of big guests coming up. I cannot say it enough. So guys, if you haven't already, please. When I take the microphone off, by the way, that means get serious. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter X. We will start using it more. What we're using Twitter X platform for is not drama. We're going to be using it for sports intel for you guys, some upcoming guests, and giveaways. We'll be having some W giveaways coming soon. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon. So you do not want to miss any future shows with us. All right, let me put it back on. That's all I had to say about that. And, oh yeah, by the way, for those on YouTube, just give us a subscribe. That's all. Just go ahead and give us a free sub. That's all we want. We have organic followers and subscribers. Once again, we ain't putting them sugars into the pot. We are not with any management group or anything like that. Everything's organic. We do not buy our followers. We want you guys to come in and slap that like and sub button because you want to see us entertain you.
2 points I got to make. So I would have said drop the mic, but that's an expensive mic. So I'm sure that
I'm not dropping this Shure mic. That's not.
We don't have the money to replace it. Like, the bands of the 90s and they break the guitars, Kurt Cobain and all them guys. So yeah, we don't have that budget behind us. So we can't drop the mic. And the organic thing, yes, we don't use pesticides on our listeners. We're all organic.
That's right.
You have subscribed on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Please share. This is your show. We want you to please, if there's teams that we haven't mentioned, I try to talk about the teams that I think that, like New England, because I know we got some Boston listeners, Denver Broncos. I know we got I'm going to give a shout out to Jim Ludis, who's a realtor.
Ludis.
Former houses. So I thank Jim. He was very easy to work with. He was above and beyond. In fact, I wasn't living in the house in the wintertime and there was snow. And, this guy went out and he shoveled the driveway for me just so he could show my house. So you might want to look him up. Jim Ludis, Ludes. He's a realtor. And if you need your house sold, he's out in the Coal City area. And so he does a lot of great things with the youth. He does work with speech teams. So we got our finger on the pulse as far as a lot of our listeners are concerned. Matt Malozzi, we got Sam Warren, we got Kerry Sabaka, so we got male, female listeners and fans out there. There's a lot of great people, and we want you to be the stars of the show and be mentioned too. A lot of shows, you hear the hosts speaking, talking heads, but who are the listeners behind the scenes? And we want your names to be as big as we are. So
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. And I know I'm missing some people that are listening. Keith Dietrich's a friend of mine. He was going to try to tune in. I know he doesn't like to get a lot of credit or fame, but you know what? Hey, Keith Dietrich's, he's been a big part of my life, and I'm appreciative that he was even going to consider listening. If you got a chance to listen to, great. If not, hey, I'm still giving you a shout out, buddy.
That's amazing. So yeah, shout outs to all you guys, and give a shout out to our YouTube listeners right now, to Matthew and Samuel. We got a lot of guests here on Twitter X, like I said. So thank you all for joining us. Matt did say, Roy and Rob, what was your grade for the Bears draft? Roy gave his an A. I'm giving them an A+. I'm giving them an A+. I really like what they did this year. I think the obvious pick was Caleb Williams. We already knew that was going to happen. Nowadays, and I said this on the previous show, I'm not really, fond of the first pick pretty much being a given. I wish they can put a little bit more drama behind it, because when it's too predictable for the 1, 2, 3, you kind of know it's coming. It's the realization. You just got to stamp it, put an envelope, and mail it out. It's going to get opened, and the reality is inside the envelope. So it was pretty cool to see that. It was finally cool to see Caleb Williams actually being enthused and finally understanding how important it is to be the number one draft overall. I mean, he had the biggest hype all year. So I do give the Bears an A. I think their offense is looking good. I know their defense is going to need to improve a little bit, but hey, it's all about the coaching staff too. Is Ephus or whatever the hell his name is? I don't even know.
Eberflus. He's a
Eberflus
guy.
I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name. I thought he was canned by the I thought he was canned by last year, but obviously upper management sees something in him that we don't. And once again, we go backstage a lot with a lot of people, so we know some backstage stuff could be happening, and a lot of the office, like upper management, likes to troll the fan base. So let's just be real. They need to kind of they need you to go right so they can go left, and we will all meet up in the middle at some point. So, hey, the Bears get an A from me, and I'm ready to see. Listen, even though I'm an Eagles fan, I grew up in Chicago. My dad's a huge, Bears fan. He's still upset that I'm an Eagles fan. And for those who don't know, if you're from Chicago, and I live in Florida now, obviously, how did you become an Eagles fan? I was 8 years old, and I saw a Christmas Eve game, and Randall Cunningham was flying over the defensive guys, and he's flying like an eagle. They even said it on the announce, like, I like them, and I like the color green. So I just started going to the library and looking up all the overall history of the organization, and I'm gonna name drop some people my favorites: Seth Joyner, Eric Allen, Clyde Simmons, Reggie White, Sheldon Brown, Brian Dawkins. Talking about Andy Reid?
No.
You're talking about we had Rhodes. I had
no. Go back, man.
Oh man,
Buddy Ryan. You're
Buddy Ryan. Yes, from the
put
85
you guys
years.
on the map.
You put me on a spot there.
Controversial. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but he made the Eagles relevant again.
Talking about brain fog, I just had that. I was going through Rhodes. I was going through Reed and Vermeil.
No, we got to give credit to Buddy, man. He sparked. He got you guys off the ground, made you relevant again after Dick Vermeil got him there in 1980, and then when you were born,
82. Right. But yes, absolutely, 1982. They went to their Super Bowl and lost. But hey, that's all right. I wasn't born yet, but I did have to live through the 4 championship games. Finally making it to the.
Born in 80. You were born in what? 80.
82.
82.
82. Yes, I will be 42 years old in July this year. So you can start seeing the grays coming out. Well, they are out, but I cover them up. But anywho, with that said, Roy, we're coming up to 5 more minutes exactly on the show. Last chance, everybody. Get your comments in right now. If there's something you guys want to talk about, it could be anything. We love wrestling. You guys WWE fans, AEW, what the hell is going on with Tony Khan, by the way? Did you see that? when Tony Khan coming out with the neck brace, he's obviously doing the work of getting hit by Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Don't call the man Jungle Boy. He'll get hit in the stomach with a microphone. That shit was ridiculous. The first sell was just a joke. After that, he sold everything pretty well. Comes on and says on the NFL Network that the WWE is more of the bullies, the juggernaut, and the Harvey Weinstein of the industry, and they're known as Pepsi. Yes, and they cut him off quick. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, or you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Tony Khan and just type in like Harvey Weinstein, Tony Khan, and that interview will pop up right away. I'm not going to play it because I don't have the authority to play it. But
Vince is gone. So
yeah, that was obviously a hit to Vince. All right, so he's gone. But yes, we also talk wrestling here, ladies and gentlemen, professional wrestling. So we will have our times that we will talk professional wrestling and end out the shows. I did not get a chance to catch SmackDown this past week, but I know that AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes had a very boring contract signing. And it's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen, that the good old Cody Rhodes is going to start getting booed just like he did in AEW.
It's post WrestleMania now until SummerSlam. It's going to just kind of go down. You know how that goes.
I don't see him having the ring for a while. He's not going to do a Roman Reigns thing. But I do like the storyline of the Bloodline right now. I'm not sure if you guys see Solo Sikoa. He's actually kind of taken over, and they're bringing in some more new family members coming in. And I know Fatu's coming in soon, and that's going to be cool. We just get a comment from Carrie on YouTube. Good show, guys. White Sox 3 in a row. So
hey, so it was her nephew Brett's birthday yesterday, and he went to the game. They won. So I'm going to give a shout out to Brett, who just turned 20, and he has been doing some
shout out to Brett. Happy birthday.
And some scoreboard operating at UIC. So he might be, coming in our footsteps to do some of the things that we're doing, Rob. But for a young man like that, he went to the game, they won. Now 3 in a row. Maybe Brett might have had a little mojo or something going there. So I'm going to give Brett a little credit. Way to go, Brett Skalnick, and happy birthday, buddy. Happy belated.
Happy birthday. That's awesome. So, and you know what? And with that said, too, I want to piggyback off that. Remember, guys, those are just joining that don't know who we are. I started doing this when I was 14 years old. I'll be 42 this year. So,
you're like Tom Skilling started when he was 14.
Yeah, and he just retired. So shout out to good old Tom with the weather teaching me about the barometer readings. As you can see here, the barometer is 30,000 feet. Yeah, that's the Chicago thing, ladies and gentlemen. So WGN, Tom Skilling, the weatherman, the best weatherman of all time. So congratulations.
You're 14, he's 14. So
yes,
parallels there, Rob. You got a long way.
And all I have to say is keep doing what you're doing. You are going to get haters. There's going to be people that don't like the way you look, don't like the way you talk, don't like your analysis, but this is part of the gig, baby. And you just got to do what you do from your heart. Be honest with yourself. And when you're honest with yourself, everything comes out naturally. And this is why we love doing this stuff. We'd like to entertain. We'd like to give the knowledge. We like to share. This is what this whole show is about, everybody. We're taking you guys backstage with guests, and we're giving our analysis. I'm more of the host producer guy. These guys are the knowledgeable guys. I mean, shit, I brain fog a lot. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So we're pretty much coming up to the end. So
I brain fogged on Mac Jones. I call him Mac Brown, the old coach from Texas. Like, oh no,
it happens. And you'll see me butcher people's names on here from here on. I'm not perfect. So please, if you guys want to correct me, I don't care. Please do. Cause I'd rather not sound like an idiot. Moving forward, because there's just days where I'm just tired, stressed out, and hey, natural human emotions.
You're only human, born to make mistakes.
So here we go, Roy. I just want to give our last shout outs to all our peeps on YouTube. Matt says, I love the podcast. You guys are the all-stars. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate that. Carrie, to Samuel, to all the peeps on Twitter, X, and to all on my personal Facebook, which I will be using the House Jack City Radio Facebook from moving forward from here on out. So once again, guys, at HJC Media Group on all our socials. Twitch, I'm a Twitch streamer. I game as well. So if you guys like games, I'm playing a game right now called the Callisto Protocol. That fucking game is so scary.
I know
and
Matt does, and Sam probably is too.
So make sure you follow my Twitch stream. Give me, hey, if you have a Twitch Prime and you don't know what to do with it, just got to give it to me. I'll take it. So you can do that on Twitch as well. But any final last words, Roy, before we get out of here?
Well, I just want to thank Darian for coming on and his insight, because, like I said, he's a superstar in the making. He's got a lot of great wisdom, and you too, Rob. I mean, the backstage stuff that you've been involved with the IPP program, I think that just gave our listeners a whole lot of new information that they wouldn't have known, that I definitely couldn't have given them. So you and I are like really good. We're the yin and the yang, and we complement each other well. And we both can bring things to our listeners, as well as our listeners are going to bring to us. But that gaming thing, again, like I said, Matt and Sam and a lot of other people. So the sky's the limit. We're going to have a great time over the years together. We're all going to grow old together. And I love you all.
Absolutely. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought .gg. Make sure to check it out. Put the HJC Media Group in at checkout to get your 10% off. So with that said, Roy, what a fucking
I got a bowling championship tonight. I'm bowling.
Oh, you do? And good luck. Good luck
Jimmy
on the bowling
Pellegrini,
championship.
my guy that brought me, the other godfather of bowling, brought me out of retirement, and I'm averaging 187, second highest in the league, and I had a 275, third highest average, second highest score in the league. We're bowling for the championship tonight. So thank you, Jimmy Pellegrini, for bringing me back. I haven't bowled since 2010, Rob. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. Well, with that said, guys,
I'm doing it.
And you get that dub. Get that dub. So with that said, for Roy Herman, I'm Rob Eggers, and you guys have been watching House Jack City Backstage Sports Edition. Until next time, y'all, have a good one. We'll see you.